My.
I need to open up. Okay. Welcome to these talks, Mayan talks about the calendar things. Today, I was going to talk about the forces. I was talking about it before. And your host, Gina Miranda, and this is an invited today. She happened to be my granddaughter. And your name is?
My name's Aranza. Aranza.
Okay. Okay, so she came visiting and I happened to be doing this video, and some people asked me, well, maybe she should show that, and there she is. So we're gonna try to explain a little more the forces. You know, we were explaining the last time that the combination of the forces, what you're gonna find in the Maya Chronos calculator, will give you numbers from 1 to 13. And I was explaining the importance of the other characteristics about having a 1, a 4, a 9, or a 13. But these things are most important than that. This is what we call the internal wheel, or the 1 to 13 wheel that encompasses the Solkin, strictly the Solkin combinations of numbers. As I explained before, you know, each of these forces dominates for 13 days, and then when you're born, you get either one of the forces with the dominating force. Especially if you get the number 1 dominating, you get special powers. But this has another very important component to this. These are forces, like spiritual forces of the universe. And when you're born, you get 2 of them, or 1. And then finding out through the Maya Chronos, you can find your ancestors, your parents, your grandparents, and pretty much you can find out which forces are the ones that are your allies. All the relatives are allies. You might have some other ones that are not relatives, but we don't know. I cannot tell you because you have to explore yourself this thing. This is do-it-yourself thing. Kick the tires, drive around, and see how it goes for you. So the important things of this, the knowing these things, is with the year that you were born, you had the ones that you have. But since the calendar keep moving around, these forces keep switching positions around. What I mean is that let's imagine that you were born with an image in the mat the year they were born. And in the future, you might get something else. You might get Manik, you might get Khan, you might get different forces in your birthday and the time that you were born. Every years are different. Sometimes they are the same. So when you get the same ones, they are yours, or they are from your parents or your grandparents, then you have allies that year. So that's a year that you're going to be kind of protected from things. But like I explained before, out of these 20 forces of the universe, some are not your allies, they go against you. And another 7 are neutral. So what happened is you got to learn this and understand all these forces. And by that means you're going to get a diary and try to see how these forces interact with you in every day of your life. Like I said, so you know which ones are allies, which ones are enemies, or they don't like you and stuff like that. So what happened is, since they change every year, there's a conduit that brings us spiritual beings from another dimension to this dimension. And these spirits are the ones that they keep the key to this door to the other side. Just imagine that, if you were born 17 September, and then that 17 September, every year, there'll be different forces parked in that conduit to the other side. And these forces are negotiating between you and the other realm. And that's why it's kind of, when your birthday come around, they're kind of dangerous times for most humans. When you're young, you're okay, your life is strong and everything. When you're getting older, when you're getting close to your birthday, you're getting close to the point where your forces came in the orbit of the earth to your body when you were born. So what that means is that every time that you hit your birthday, you're smashing the doorway that brought you into this world. And since that's the doorway, and you got different forces guarding that doorway, that could cause a problem or could help you. If these are allies, you'll be okay. But if they are not allies, or if it's your time to go, most people will die in the forces that are parked in the doorway to the other side. The same doorway that you came in into this world, that doorway is protected or handled by some of these forces. Sometimes there is one, there is two or three or four, depending on the year, This is real. I mean, if I had the money to do an analysis in a big cemetery to see when these people died and how this came about, I think I can prove this scientifically. But I can give you an example. You can do it yourself. Recently, in these times that we're in January when they're taping this in 2023, they are talking about the death of Lisa Marie Presley, which was the daughter from Elvis Presley. And she happened to die. If you look at Maya Chronos, you'll find out that she died in an F day. So she died in an F day. Guess what? Her birthday was February 1st. If you look in my calculator and find out what was February 1st, what it's going to be, because it hasn't happened for us yet, you're going to find out it also was this force. So this force was ready to take her into the other side. She was waiting for her, and so approaching, and so she died in that force that is guarding that corridor to the other side. These are just examples that are at the moment showing in the news. I've seen this for decades, and this is not new to me. I'm totally convinced of the effectivity of understanding this system. It's amazing how these people came up with this thousands of years ago. They got the mysteries of the universe encased in this, but we haven't cracked all of them, but they are there. And then we got the other great, there was a great guitar player, Jeff Beck. You can look for it. You can look at it in Wikipedia to see that I'm not lying what I'm saying. I like people to see the truth. I love science. I like things to match. 4 and 4 has to be 8. So Jeff Beck died under oak. I think it was the day oak, the day of the wolf. And it happened that his birthday fell under the dominion of oak. So this stuff matches. Most people, a lot of people that I check, they match exactly with the guardian that is in the conduit to the other side. That doesn't mean that you have to die in those days. This is a window of opportunity for dying. If Creator or whatever out there is out there decided that you need to go in those days, then these forces are the ones that are going to take you in. If they don't match, it's because there is another equation that it's hard to explain it to you now, but it matches almost 98% of the time. One time when I went to Ohio, and the people that was going to teach the class didn't show up, so I went to a cemetery, and this is a short story that I did. I just pick up like 70 graves, and pick up the day the person born and then the person died. And when I crunch the numbers, I find out that about 75 to 80% of the people that die in the days that the calendar was predicting that they were going to die. And like I said, that doesn't mean that if this, for me, is the eagle, which is today practically. So for me, today is an opportunity of dying, but if Creator has not given the line for me to die, I'm not going to die today. I'll be safer today. But every time that the eagle come around, I know that this could be the day that this could happen to me. And it could be a disease, it could be an accident, it could be anything that could happen to you. So that's why this gives us pause to give thanks every day when we wake up, to know, that we got the opportunity to live another day and do something productive for our family or for the world or whatever. And I wanted to explain that because it's very important. This is the first wheel. They will come up in the first information of the Maya Chronos data. It goes to 1 to 13, which is the dominion and the day of the force. Later on in another class, we're going to talk about the 1 to 20. That's a totally different concept, and it relates to the Mayan months. This is just the forces, the dominion forces. So we're going to say goodbye for now, and I wanted to explain this, and thank you to my lovely granddaughter here, Aranza. And we'll talk in the next episode about these 20 forces and the significance of the 1 to 20 numbers. So when you go into Maya Chronos, you get two sets of numbers. The first one is this one, and the second one, it gives you the 1 to 20 position and the Mayan Winal month. And that's very important too for other reasons, which I will explain in the next class. So thank you so much, Matios. Gracias. See you the next one. Say goodbye.
Adios. Yes.